RECYCLE, recycle. Why don't you CONSERV, conserve? Hi, my name is Kit. I work for Farmgirl Flowers as a copywriter, and I'm here today to show you a denim DIY to celebrate our collaboration with Levi's. Our founder and CEO, Christina, started Farmgirl, and she wrapped the bouquets in burlap. And she used burlap because we're in the Bay Area and there's lots of coffee roasters here, so it was a product that was easy to get and we could give it a second life as a wrap for our bouquets. But she always wanted to use a different material, kind of like a special one-off projects, and Levi's was at the top of the list of companies she hoped to collaborate with to make that happen, and today it's happening. Christina, our founder and CEO, started using burlap because in the Bay Area there are tons of coffee roasters, and so burlap from the coffee bags is easily sourced, and it was a nice way to give a second life to that product as a bouquet wrap. And it's also compostable, so after our customers are done using it, they can compost it or also get crafty with it. And Christina wanted an upcycled material for the bouquet wrap, because in the floral industry, a lot of times it's a single-use plastic that's used to wrap the bouquets, and she really wanted to move away from that to a more sustainable practice. And so to celebrate our collection, collaborative collection with Levi's, we're wrapping it in a new piece of denim, and we want to show you how to reuse that and give that piece of denim a second life as something you can use in your home. Today I'm going to show you how to make a cute little braided denim keychain from your Levi's denim bouquet wrap. And we're going to show you how to do it in one of these big keychain loops, because if you have keys like mine, you need something bigger to make that happen. This is from my friend's house because I watch his dog, and it's a Kit bottle opener. My house, another dog's house, car, bar, another cat's house, another person with a cat whose cat I watched house. Something to cut little strips of denim with, so I'm going to use a rotary cutter and a cutting mat. This has like a little sharp wheel. You need something soft to cut on so you don't cut your table, that's why I'm using that. But if you don't have that, you can use some scissors. You're going to need some keychains. I got these at Michael's, but I think you could find them at any hardware store too, in like the key copy department. You could probably get some cool different shapes there too. See what you like. To add a pop of color, I'm also adding some embroidery thread or floss. You could also use friendship bracelet string or ribbon or kind of any other smaller, colorful twine-like item that you have lying around, or just go with the denim. You're also going to need a seam ripper, and if you don't have a seam ripper, you can use a safety pin. And let's get started. So we're going to cut strips of denim to make this keychain. We're going to go make strips the short way, that way, so from the selvage down. And we're going to aim to make them about 1/4 inch thick. And this should be about 17 inches long, so the wrap is approximately 17 by 23 inches. So you can see 23 inches, that'll make you quite a few strips at a 1/4 inch wide, so you can make a keychain for yourself, a keychain for your friend, a keychain for your parents, your neighbors, your teachers. So I'm using a metal T-square to help guide my rotary cutter when I'm cutting out these strips. If you don't have those items at home and you're just using scissors, you can just use a regular ruler and mark the 1/4 inch cut lines on your denim with chalk or maybe marker. If you are looking, these are really handy for making especially small cuts. So if you know a crafter, like a home sewer, seamstress, or quilter especially, this is a common tool that they'll have. So maybe if you make them a keychain, you can borrow their tools for the day. So we're gonna get started cutting out the 1/4 inch strips of our fabric for our keychain. So I've cut out a couple strips of fabric. We're doing like a little modified fishtail braid. And so you need 4 pieces to braid, so 2 strips, 2 1/4-inch strips. So I'm going to take my 2 1/4-inch strips and my keychain, and then I want to add a little bit of color, so I have some embroidery floss, and I've cut 2 pieces to match the length of the denim strips that I have too. So right now I'm just going to thread those through. My keychain comes with a tiny little 1/4-inch loop at the end of the bigger loop, and I'm going to feed the denim through that right now. And I'm just going to feed it through that loop until it's about the halfway point on the piece of this strip. My little keychain comes with a little 1/4-inch loop, so I'm feeding the denim through that because that will secure it while I braid it. It works easiest if you kind of fold the denim in half. The cuts weren't exact, and so at parts where it's a little bit wider than a 1/4-inch, it's a little bit harder to get through. So you just feed it through till it's about half. You can fold a piece of denim in half so the ends are approximately equal. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do that with my second piece of denim now. And I did this earlier, and I think it's easiest if you kind of sandwich your embroidery floss in between the denim piece, fold it in half. So you see you have about 6 strands, 4 denim and 2 embroidery floss. And now we're going to get braiding. You need to secure the keychain to something while you're braiding. I'm going to use my scissors that fits handily on there. You need something with some weight so you can kind of pull on the braid to get it secure. Usually I use my toe to attach this to, but it's a little bit hard to film with my feet out, so I'm going to attach it to my scissors, like so. Okay, now we're going to get braiding. So you want, equal amounts of strands on each side of the keychain loop. And with fishtails, it's pretty simple. You just pull one piece over to the other side. And if you have trouble, like if you don't know what I'm talking about with fishtail braids, there's so many good YouTube tutorials about how to fishtail braid. It looks really complicated, but it's really like the easiest braiding style to do. So check that out. So I was having trouble not getting the tension that I wanted on this keychain, so I had to phone a quarantine mate. I'll also make her a keychain to thank her. But she's holding the keychain taut, which just gives you much better, makes the braid look so much better. Wait for it. Thanks! A keychain! Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I braided through, and as you can see, I tried to, just by the way, the denim is 2-sided, the dark blue on the light side, so I just tried to kind of alternate as I was braiding which side would be exposed just for some color variation. And then I just wove the friendship bracelet thread or embroidery floss just on top of whatever piece was convenient, just to also kind of vary that up. I'm going to tie off the end here with the embroidery floss. So just tying it around the bottom of the braid where I want it to end. And you want to make sure you're leaving like about an inch, a little bit, about an inch of ends loose, because we're going to fray the ends for an extra little flare. And now I'm going to trim up all the ends so they're roughly the same length. And then I'm going to fray them with my seam ripper. If you don't have the seam ripper, remember you can use an open safety pin. Now all the ends are frayed. I think it looks a little long, so I'm just going to give it like a little bit, just Looks like too much to me, so I'm just gonna trim it. I think that's looking pretty good. Ah, there we have it. Well, let me add it. Pro tip though, you're not supposed to have this many keys on your keychain because it's bad for your ignition. Thanks, Dad.